All right, guys, we're back. Um, it's still July 9th. I just finished that first recording. I was heading back to the cabin and just had the thought, thinking about all of this, and what I'm trying to do here. Hopefully, it's interesting to anybody out there. Um, I thought I'd take a minute here to kind of talk about me growing up, just to give you a story of who I am and how I've got to where I'm at now currently. Um, Tried to keep it kind of interesting here, but again, the whole point of this series is kind of how I got here, including where I'm at with Common Creatives, who I am. I think some of this information is important because um, as you make decisions in your life, you make them based off of what you've known in the past, what you've experienced in the past, what was good about that, what was not so good, and things that you'd want differently. And so as I was walking back, I thought maybe I need to include some more information about who I am and my growing up years. So I'll try to keep that interesting. I'm on a road right here by that same little area that I was walking by. So if there's cars coming by and it gets loud, I apologize. But um, this is all authentic and real. So I'm going to give you a little bit about who I am. As I mentioned in an earlier video, I'm currently 41 years old. I'll be 42 this year. Um, a bit overweight. Haven't taken care of myself as well as I should have because, not that I don't believe in it, but I do. It's just almost every free minute has been filled with trying to get this or some other business dream off the ground. And so nights, weekends, holidays have been staying up, working, coding, designing Common Creatives. And so I want to change that. I want to be healthier. That's partly why I do these in the morning, is going for a walk, is trying to get some exercise in. And I've learned that if you have like a really big goal that you really want to do, like getting out of bed in the morning is not a hard thing. Like every morning since starting this, I've woken up at 6:30 on the dot, just naturally, and roll over to my wife and say I'm going for my walk, and she knows that I'm just recording these. Um, so trying to get some exercise in here, doing this. But a little more about me. I was born and raised in the Salt Lake City Valley. Um, my parents, wonderful people, taught me a lot of amazing things. Um, Still have a great relationship with them, and really they've taught me from their example and what they've said, and um, their example and the lessons they've taught me. Mentioned before, they're entrepreneurial. It's probably where I get this from. Earlier years of myself, I thought there's no way I want to do my own business. I'm okay working for the man. I've done that for the last 15, 20 years of my career, and have realized that you just got to go after your own dreams. You're either working on your dream or you're working on somebody else's, and so why not make it yours? So, anyways, let's see. So I grew up in the Salt Lake City Valley. My family moved around a lot. The early years, I have 5 siblings. I'm the youngest of 6, and I have 3 wonderful sisters who are the salt of the earth. If you guys are watching this, you're now joining the other 2. So now I've got 5 people watching this with me. But my sisters are amazing. They amazing people, and I've got 2 older brothers. My 2 older brothers are amazing too. There's quite a little bit of an age gap between them, so it goes. The sequence is the oldest son, who's about 14 years difference between me and him. Now that we're like in our adult years, it feels like we have a closer relationship. There's a little bit less of the arc of life and the things that are going on. We can relate a bit more. When I was younger, I mean, he was moving out of the house when I was, 5, 6 years old. So, um, it took, I think, in my opinion, my perspective, it took a good number of years for us to feel like we could really connect. And so, if you're watching this, um, welcome to now number 6. So, thank you for being here with me and being the older brother that you've been. I know our family situation hasn't always been ideal, and you've always been willing to jump in and make sure I was taken care of, as an older brother should. So, um, that has not been lost on me over these many years. So if you're watching this, oldest brother, I love you. Thank you. Okay, so next down from that goes my oldest sister, and she is the salt of the earth. She would do anything for you if you asked, she would do it. And I've tried not to abuse that. Tried to only ask help from her when I absolutely needed it. Her and her family are amazing people, and same thing. There was quite a bit of an age gap between us growing up. Um, she, as I remember when I was younger, she was off doing the teenage years. For her, being involved with friends, and she moved out of the house, got married, and got moved out of the house when I was probably 8 or so, maybe 9. So most of my experience with her and growing up has been with her out of the house, and so. But next down from that is another brother, and he and I have connected a ton. He's been a great older brother as well. He's the older brother that has helped me figure things out in life. I mean, the others have as well, but he has helped me finish basements. We call and talk to each other on the phone a lot, just about what's going on in our lives. Um, and he's been a great older brother. So if you're watching this as well, older brother number 2, um, I guess publicly thanking you for being an awesome older brother. Down from that, there's a 4-year gap between that brother and then a sister, and she also amazing, great. They are currently living in Arizona and doing the things they need to do for their family out there. And I miss you, older sister that's living in Arizona. If you're watching this, welcome to the group. So, your example, your faith, your your forgiving nature has always stuck out to me as an example, um, especially the hard things that our family has gone through and have navigated, and your willingness to look past those and forgive other people, your faith, um, and all the challenges that you face with your health, and is not lost on me. I see you navigating life with a smile when life has given you many reasons to be upset. And so you are a great example to me. Thank you for your faith and your forgiving nature. Okay, down from that one is another sister. This is the sister that was the closest to age in me. We're only 2 years apart. I love you, sister, that is closest to me. I'm trying to keep names out of this, so I know this sounds kind of weird trying to describe in this way, but sister that's closest to me, I see you and your desire to have a happy life. Um, I know life has not been easy for you, and I've seen you try to raise 2 great kids as a single mom, trying to find meaningful relationships and have a closeness with them, with a partner in life, a loved one, And your example of going after things when it feels like it's still hard and life feels like an uphill battle. And I see you navigating that, and I see the struggle that you have doing that. And honestly, it's one of the reasons why, again, I'm trying to build a social working network for people that want to work differently or need to work differently, and to be able to meet the needs of your family, being a single mom. And so your example of going through that and the struggle of that has, as I know many single moms out there are doing, um, it's a motivator for me. Not that I would wish that on you or that you keep going through that, but knowing that if there's some way that I can help you or people like you in your situation, I want to do that. And so you've been an inspiration to me to help provide um, a path, a meaningful career, and a way for people to do it. And so that's one of the things that has kept me going and doing this, building this social working network for other people, and that it's bringing value to them and bringing something for them that they can rely on in their life. So thank you, all of my siblings. You guys are amazing. If you're the only ones watching this, which you probably are, so um, I love you guys, and thanks for always letting your little brother tag along, wanting to be with you, and not making fun of me for trying to make my own way in the world. So thank you. A little more about family situation. So my parents, they divorced. They got divorced when I was 5 years old. It still hurts. It still hurts. Try not to get choked up talking about this too. Sorry, I need a minute there. They did the best they could. They were married for 20 years, 21 years, which try not to cry in front of the world here, or at least the 6 people that are watching this. They did the best they could. They were married for 20, 21 years. I don't remember now, which isn't lost on me right now. That's the I mentioned in an earlier video. My wife and I just celebrated our 20-year anniversary. And so they were married for 20 years and sought to make a happy life. When people get married and set out to create a family, it's much like trying to start a business. You have hopes and dreams, maybe visions of what the future looks like. what a happy family is. Um, and then life comes along and there's challenges and disagreements, and if it goes on too long, then people call it quits. And so if both my parents are watching this, welcome to the group. You're now at 8 8 people here with me. If you're watching this, know that I love you both. I'm sorry it didn't work out for you guys. But know that your example of recovering from that has been a good example to me too. Um, Relating that back to business, you had to bounce back, you had to keep going, and seeing that you've done that in your marriage with your current marriages, now you've both been able to recover through hard things. You kept going and you found happiness again, and that hasn't been lost on me. So they were divorced when I was 5 years old. Those were some hard years for them and my family and myself. Being the youngest of 6 and having that happen, I think both my parents, again, as I mentioned, were entrepreneurial, but I wouldn't say we were not financially secure in any way. And watching my mother be a single mother of 6 kids, trying to provide for us, my father trying to recover and figuring out his direction in life after that happened. And I won't claim that it was easy for anybody. And I remember talking about this a bit with my dad a few years ago when I was a teenager, and he said, there's still scars and still wounds. And I know that, Dad. Um, so I wasn't planning to have a breakdown here, here on the side of the road in Bear Lake, but all of these experiences have shaped who I am, wanting to provide for my own family, wanting to help provide and create businesses that help the other people so they can rely on them. And so, yeah. So parents divorced when I was 5 years old. Most of my siblings, it kind of felt like, to be honest, 100% honesty is, as I saw my mom go through that, trying to figure out how to support us, my dad, both my parents financially insecure at that time, trying to provide for our family. There were many years that were a struggle. That and my mom put a smile on her face and just got to work. She herself, a few years later, started a daycare business, moved us out to Riverton. We lived in a house on Redwood Road that she converted to a daycare. And as a family, we lived in the basement of the daycare as it grew. The blessing of that, the daycare was successful, and that it started to provide for us. As a family, it was challenging because we had to, the living space of that home that was converted to a daycare got smaller and smaller. We got pushed into smaller and smaller corners. until eventually the business was growing enough that she converted the whole home into a daycare. She was a school teacher for the 20 years that my parents were married. Um, when she went through that divorce, she quit being a school teacher, had a little bit change of life plans, and started going after her dreams of being an entrepreneur and trying to make things work, and going after plowing her own fields, using that analogy as a farmer, right? Um, so mom, your example of repeated example of trying to plant a crop, hoping that it grows, cultivating it, putting all that you have into it, seeing it succeed, and many times not succeeding, but still trying again and cultivating the land again is not been lost on me. And your continual example has been extremely valued to me. Not so much of what you've said, but what actions you've done. And thank you. So if you're watching this, thank you. So those years growing up, honestly, it felt like everybody checked out of a hotel and I was the only one still there. um, Being 5 years old, trying to figure out, I learned from a very early age that if I wanted something, I needed to figure out how to do it myself. And now, to be entirely fair in that they were very much there. I would see my father on the weekends. He made it a point to still stay very close to the family. He got remarried to a wonderful lady. So if you're watching this, and they've been married for the last, I don't know how long it's been. It's maybe 30 years. I don't know how far you got, but you guys got married just a year after my parents divorced. And a wonderful lady. She had two daughters that were young daughters as well. And my father and her, they remarried and they sought to make a blended family work. And so if you're watching this, you have been an incredible example to me of your willingness to make life work, and in difficult situations you've been welcoming, made me feel like a son, and figuring out how to navigate your life situation, trying to find happiness, and in your situation as well. So if you're watching this, stepmom, I love you, and I'm appreciative that over all these many years you've been so kind and tried to find that balance, appropriate balance between us and our families, and try to make a blended family work. Dad, I love you too. Your example of just providing, just showing up and to saying, I'm going to still provide and make sure my family's taken care of. Your desire to still remain close to us, even though you didn't have to, um, has been a great example to me as I've tried to raise my family as well. Your desire to and ability to put hard things aside and to keep going and still work on meaningful relationships. Try to teach me faith in the gospel of Jesus Christ. Having faith even when life is really hard, and having a smile on your face. And every time I've talked to you about hard things, you have a way of saying, well, I'm glad you're going through that. You're getting life experience. So thank you for always recentering me that good things and bad things, it's all just good experience. And getting older is a great thing because it just gets you older and more experience. And so if you're watching this, I love you. Thank you for your example. Um, all of that folds into what I'm trying to do here. This is, if anything, a life lesson and experience. And so thank you. Um, let's see. So, kind of to wrap this up here, um, for the next many years growing up, my mother worked on trying to establish businesses, go after her goals. We were in Sandy for so again, from when I was about 5 years old, we grew up in Sandy. Sandy again is just in the Salt Lake City Valley. It's about 20-30 minutes south from the center, the main city, right there in the Wasatch Valley. We moved from there when I was in 5th grade to start that. My mother, as I mentioned, started that daycare out in Riverton. She had been remarried to another man at that time. During those years, she had dated quite a bit, trying to figure out her relationships and romantic relationships and finding what she was looking for there, and navigating that by raising the 6 kids. I mentioned at that time, my oldest brother, he was about 22 years old, 21 years old. He had gotten married to a wonderful lady, and they had moved out of the house, and so they were off doing their thing. So really, she was, raising 5 kids at home, trying to provide, trying to start a business, and she decided she'd gotten remarried to another fellow, and decided she wanted to start a daycare out in Riverton. That was hard. It was a hard thing for me to do at that time. I was at that time 7, maybe a little bit older than that. No, it was probably about 8 or 9. Um, it was in 5th grade. I was in 5th grade. So however you are in 5th grade, 9, 10 years old. And the fellow that she ended up marrying, he went to prison. And the next many years, watched that relationship between my mom and him as she tried to get a business off the ground and be successful. He went to prison. Um, that was some interesting years. She also got diagnosed with cancer, and watched her navigate that. Um, she ultimately lost her business because of it. Her immune system became compromised, lost her business because she couldn't be in the daycare. Um, and again, all of that was just an experience. There were a moment there where we thought she was going to die. We were told that she had a 5% chance of living. But through faith, through blessings, through miracle of medicine, she recovered, and she's still with us today. So, Mom, if you're watching this, you're an inspiration. Fighting through all of that, all of those years. Honestly, like I don't know how you did it, because those were some hard things to go through, and they've been all experiences and showing me that you can go through hard things when life is tough. And you made it through. She ended up getting divorced a few years after that from that gentleman. We when we were in Riverton area, when the business was going well for her, she moved our family out of the daycare because the daycare was being successful. She moved us into a small home where we continued to spend a lot of great, wonderful years from my teenage years in Riverton. That's where I went to Riverton High School. I met my best friend there, and who would eventually become my spouse. And I met my spouse in our gym class, a co-ed gym class. We just became really good friends through other mutual friends. And a few years later, after serving a mission for my church, and at the age of when I got back from that, after high school. So after high school, graduated high school, served a 2-year mission for the church I belong to in Argentina, and had some amazing experiences doing that. Maybe I'll talk about that in another video. That was also an experience of just believing in something, going after it, trying to help the world see your belief in something as well, inviting them to be a part of it, um, sharing messages about Jesus Christ, giving service to others, trying to help their lives be better, loving others, loving one another as Jesus commanded, and trying to bring the gospel of Jesus Christ to other people. I spent 2 years doing that in Argentina, trying to help build their communities, give service, be outside of my own wants of being like when you're at that age, it's easy to be selfish, thinking about things that you want to do. And I spent 2 years putting that aside and going after and helping other people and trying to make a better life for them, and helping them come to know the gospel of Jesus Christ. I loved those 2 years. So if any of mission buddies are watching this, you guys are awesome. Thank you for walking the dusty roads of Argentina with me. I rely on those soft skills daily, and trying to apply it to what I'm doing with this. So after I got back from 2 years doing that, I started dating my high school sweetheart, my best friend, as I mentioned earlier. We wanted to see where that went, and we got married. And now we have 5 kids and a mortgage. So we're doing that part of the American dream. And as I mentioned, the last many years raising those kids, nights, weekends, holidays, have been trying to, outside of my 9 to 5, try to build my dreams as well. And now I'm bringing you along on the journey, getting it out into the world. So thanks for being a little vulnerable with me today. This is meant to be real, authentic. Maybe I'll give you more details on all of those stories coming posts, but you need to understand my background so you can understand the decisions that I'm making, why I've made them, the person that I want to be, all of those examples of the wonderful people that have been placed in my life, seeing you all go through hard things, knowing that you can and that you're amazing, and trying to give back to the world. I think what, again, best career advice I ever received was seek to bring value to others. And that's what I'm trying to do with this. So, like, comment, and subscribe. See that from my shadow, it is just me out here as a solopreneur, planting the seeds of my business out in the world, trying to get it out there. Like, comment, and subscribe. Join the network if you haven't already. Create a free account. Start letting the world know that you're open for freelance. Come on over to the store. Get the gear that gets you gigs. And if you're a business watching this, let's get your business out there. I can help you do that by posting a job board. On the job board, it's free for a limited time. We got a goal to get 100 businesses out there. So if all else, goal number 4 again is I'm raising funds to get a billboard right in the center of Silicon Slopes, Salt Lake City, Utah. Upcoming videos, I'm going to post what that amount is. I've got to do a little homework to make some contacts, figure out how much it's going to cost to rent it for the week of July 4th, 2026. So I got to figure out how much funding I need to do for that. That's coming up. So head on over if you want to help with that goal. head on over to the About section in the commoncreatives.com website. Hit that donate PayPal right now. It's only PayPal. Venmo's coming up. So if you want to help with that goal, and if none of that sounds interesting, just stay watching here with me. I could use your viewership. That helps on YouTube and the channel that you're building there. Like, comment, subscribe, tag people in the comments, and help me get that out there for people who may be interested in how I got here. Let's see. I think that's it. You guys are awesome. Maybe the 6 of you that are watching, family, friends, thanks for being along with this journey with me. If you're just joining me, welcome. And until next time. All right, I'm here with my son. I mentioned earlier this morning that today was about fun. So this is the definition of fun for me. I got my 8-year-old son on a motorbike. I got my own motorbike here. We got open, beautiful land up in the mountains next to Garden City, Bear Lake, Utah. And we are going to not think about work, not think about troubles of life, and just think about the motorbike and the hills, taking it all in. Here we go.